Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with the next session in the Alpha Wolf Personal Development and Expansion series. So, this session is going to be all this aspect of willingness and trust. So, my willingness to believe in the outcomes that I want and my trust to pursue those outcomes. Do you know what I mean? My willingness to take a leap and my trust within myself to leap. Do you sort of get it? It's the two sides to how we sort of create and make create our ability to move through life or all aspects of life freely. When I'm able to believe and trust, when I'm willing to believe and trust. Do you sort of get it? When I'm ready to believe and trust, anything in life becomes possible. Until that point, I am creating resistance between what I want and what I think is possible within my life. So it's very important for us to understand this aspect. So we want to understand, well, what is, if we say willingness to believe, like what is belief? Do you sort of get it? Like what we have to do is go through and define and expand our understanding of willingness and trust to create out all the different layers or variations or all the different aspects of it within our own life. If you sort of get this. Very important to get this. But basically, when we understand this, it's sort of like, well, if my willingness is to believe, if my willingness is to have faith, to trust in it, do you sort of get it? Like my willingness to move towards what I want in life without the need to hold on to everything I don't want in life. Do you sort of get it? So, this is a very important aspect when we are trying to connect with life, that this is how we connect with life. Should I be trying to manifest the dream life that I've always dreamed of living? Like willingness and trust is the way to obtain that dream life. If I am unwilling to take action towards what I want in life, I will never find what I want in life. It'll always be hidden from me. If I don't trust within myself to know what I want in life, I will forever be looking for what I think I want. Do you sort of get it? Very important to get this, because when we understand this, we unlock the keys to all the doors that we've ever wanted. Should I want to feel love and happiness in my life no matter what, I need a willingness to believe that should I choose to want love and happiness in my life no matter what, and I choose to believe that as being the reality that exists right now, it becomes that reality. But only if I'm willing to trust myself and allow myself to feel it. Do you sort of get it? Very important to get this, because this is the separation between us living or existing through life and experiencing our dream life. Literally, just willingness to go and pursue what I want in life, to be the person that I want to be, to have the standards that I want to have, to whatever it may be. Do you sort of get it? Like when I'm willing to go after what I want and be who I want to be, and I trust that should I go after what I want, it is meant for me. And should I choose to be who I want to be in life, I am that person, then I am free to just exist. Do you sort of get it? Like I'm free to experience my existence. I don't have to try and obtain anything in life to experience life how I want to experience it. So, should I want to choose kindness over aggression, over rage, over violence? Should you try and intimidate me? It's no problem. Like, do you sort of get it? Like, I choose the reality I want. Do you know what I mean? I'm not absent of everything else. So in any moment, should I choose that I want to go into extreme violence, I'm free to go into extreme violence. Do you sort of get it? Like just because I want to be a kind person doesn't mean I'm not allowed to let myself off the hook and become very unkind when needed. Do you sort of get it? Like it's very important to get this because so many people say that life is one or the other. If I'm a kind person, I can't cave people's heads in. Like, that's illogical. Do you know what I mean? Because then I'm saying, because I want to be a kind person, I can be nothing else. So, utter devotion to that. Okay. So, like, for example, if I say I want to be a happy person, I'm saying that any experience other than happy, I have failed. If I am not 100% happy, I have failed in my pursuit of being happy. It's the pursuit of being happy that makes us happy. Do you sort of get it? It's not in being happy that we become happy. It's in the pursuit of me trying to make myself happy that I become happy. Do you get it? So if I want to be a kind person, it means 99% of the time I'm going to choose to be a kind person, but it doesn't mean I am obligated to not cave someone's head in should they do something that warrants it. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean I'm unkind of a person for caving someone's head in. Do you sort of get it? Like, that's the thing. We got to understand this, that I do not segregate and separate my life. I experience all. I am free to experience all. Should I be unhappy today and tomorrow? Does that mean I am not allowed to be a happy person? Do you sort of get it? Like I'm free to feel the emotions that I feel. I'm free to feel negative some of the times. It's just, should I choose to be a happy person? I don't see the times that I'm negative as being negative. Do you know what I mean? Should someone come up and try and make me angry, like I don't see that as a negative situation. Even though I don't want to be angry, it's like if I see it as a negative situation, now it's a situation that causes stress within me because it's absent or separated from what I want. So we understand when I experience all life as just being, and I have my preference that given the choice, I'm going to choose to be a kind person. But should someone, walk up and slap me in the face and spit in my face, like I'm allowed to choose to be a very unkind person. It doesn't mean I'm not a kind person. It just means to that person, like they're going to see the the unkind side of me. Do you know what I mean? They're going to really feel it in the back of their nose because that's where the front of their nose is going to be. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to try and break their nose. I'm going to try and crush their nose. Why? Because it's going to take a lot longer to heal. Like, I want you to fucking remember that time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing it for the sake of, trying to make it look pretty. Like, I'm going to crush your nose so that you have to get multiple surgeries to get it fixed. Do you know what I mean? So that for the rest of your life, you're going to remember that time you were a fucking idiot. So we understand that does not make me an unkind person. Like, should I take that action to that person? It does not mean in the next moment I cannot go back to being kind. Do you know what I mean? It's not all or nothing. So, like, for example, I can enjoy being around someone and then they can do something that makes me not enjoy being around them. Like, I'm not obligated to be around them because I said, oh, I enjoy these things in life. Like, I can just walk on my merry way and still enjoy the time I spent with that person, but never have to see them again. Do you know what I mean? Very important to get this because it's this understanding that my diet is not a failure if I choose not to diet one day. But should I choose to always not diet, then it's a failure. Do you sort of get it? Should I choose 99% of the time to be happy and kind, and 1% of the time I'm angry? Well, should that 1% of time turn into 10, 20, 30%? I don't get to say I'm a kind person. Do you know what I mean? So when I make things habitual or habits, like that's when it ceases to be. So should I make being angry and aggressive and all of that the way I deal with certain situations, then I'm falling into the trap of being an angry and unkind person. Do you sort of get it? Like I approach every situation trying to be kind, but if the situation warrants me being angry and aggressive, then I'm going to be angry and aggressive. Do you sort of get it? But I'm not going to make that my default for dealing with those situations. The next time I'm in that situation, I'm still going to try and be kind. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to try and be compassionate. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just going to go straight in and try and break your nose because the last person I dealt with who was like you, made me break their nose. Do you know what I mean? Very important to get this. So we understand when I have the willingness and the trust within myself, when I'm able to sort of pull away from that need to define what situations are good, what situations are bad, that need to always be one or the other. Should I say something mean, I am an unkind person? Like, it's one of those things where it doesn't really fucking matter. If you choose to be mean, if you choose to be nice, it doesn't really matter. It's all perspective. Some people think that being a cunt in life is the way to live life. So that's how they are. They think that's a good way to live life. Like who am I to tell them that's not a good way? Do you sort of get it? But I don't pretend like it's something that I want in life. Do you know what I mean? They're free to be who they want to be, but should you be a cunt to me, I'm going to call you a cunt. I'm not going to pretend like you're a good person. Do you know what I mean? So we just understand when we get into this, okay, so we understand now the concept of it, that now all it is my willingness in situations to put up with situations, to take action towards situations, to take leaps, to not need to know, like to let go to the control and my willingness to just flow through the environment and experience the environment because I have trust in myself. I have trust in life. I have trust in the situation. Do you know what I mean? I have trust in the situation. If someone walks up and punches me in the face, it doesn't mean the end of my life. Potentially it could, but it doesn't mean it has to. Like, I don't have to worry about that. Like, I don't have to worry about people attacking me. Do you know what I mean? So I can trust and let go to the need to protect myself from that. Do you know what I mean? Because I build myself up. So when we understand this, moving through life, I don't need to fear failure in anything that I do because if I realize I don't know something, I'll learn it. Like it's not overly difficult. Do you know what I mean? So we just understand it's the trust in self and the willingness to trust in self that allows me to build self-trust or build my self-confidence or self-certainty. Because trust is just certainty. So I trust someone because I'm certain on the ways in which they're going to behave. I trust a situation because I'm certain on how it's going to play out. Do you sort of get it? When I become certain in my understanding of myself and my ability to get through things in life, I am free to trust myself. I'm free to feel certain within myself that I am able to move towards or achieve what I want to achieve in life. Do you know what I mean? Very important to get this. And then when I trust that the environment is going to be the environment, I'm not expecting my path to be flat. I'm expecting there to be mountains. I'm expecting there to be difficulties. I trust that in life, when I move towards what I want, there's going to be difficulties. When I move towards what I don't want, there's going to be difficulties. Like there's going to be difficulties regardless. So I'm not shocked if things don't go in my favor, if they don't go exactly how I want them to go. Do you know what I mean? I trust in life that life doesn't really care. It's not that important. Do you know what I mean? If I enjoy what I enjoy in life, that's good. That's enough. Do you know what I mean? There's no additional meaning. Like if I enjoy what I'm doing or how I'm pursuing my goals in life, that's enough for me to feel fulfilled within my life. Do you know what I mean? So when we understand this, we really understand that it is simply in my ability or willingness to choose what I want to believe in life. So is my life good? Is my life bad? Am I a nice and kind, positive person? Am I a cunt? Like, do you know what I mean? Am I optimistic or am I pessimistic? Am I always looking for the problems, pessimistic, so egotistical, or am I optimistic, looking for opportunities, creative? Do you sort of get it? I'm more intuitive the more positive I am. Because the more positive I am, the more I am looking at what I want. The more pessimistic I am, the more I am looking at what I don't want, my doubts, my fears, my insecurities. You can call it realism all you want, but if your idea of realism is getting slapped in the face with a dick, we don't live in the same reality. Do you know what I mean? Like just because you think it's real to be a mopey little bitch doesn't mean I want to get slapped in the face with a dick just because you think it's inevitable. Do you know what I mean? Very important to get that. Otherwise, you got dick on the face. But we understand this as being if you want to see problems and challenges in life, that is fine. But you don't get to dictate to the environment that that's all the environment is. Just like if I choose not to see that there are problems or challenges in life, I don't get to dictate to life that there's no such thing as a problem or challenge. But I do get to dictate within myself that there are no problems or challenges. You can see them as a problem or a challenge, but I don't have to. I don't have to see them as being obstacles to overcome. I see them as being steps towards like where I'm going. Do you sort of get it? So like we understand and we trust, and we really understand self-validation. Self-validation is the most important part of this. None of it works without it. I can be willing and want to trust all I want, but if I'm not willing to value my opinion, my decisions above others, none of it works because I'm a slave to what others believe as being true, what they believe as being right. So when I can sort of find a place within myself to be able to trust that should I say, so to speak, that I am someone who is like, for example, let's say we're moving towards a goal of weight loss. Like if I am saying that I am someone who is healthy, do I believe that who I am is someone who is healthy? Do I believe that I understand and know what health is? Do you sort of get it? Like my belief or my affirmations or who I want to see myself as doesn't really mean shit unless I'm willing to stand in it and sort of, so to speak, cop the hits to the face and be willing to stand there because I know what I say is true and I'm not wavering in my truth? Or am I sort of like only willing to say it should other people agree with me? Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm unwilling to stand in my truth, even if it means that other people take shots at me. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not really willing to believe what I say as being true. I don't really trust the words I say as being true. For example, like it doesn't matter the words or anything. When I speak words, I know and believe that those words are truth, and I trust myself to make them true with my actions. Should I say I'm a healthy person? I am now a healthy person. Do you sort of get it? Like those words aren't just fucking words. They don't sound pretty. Like I'm going to stand in it and do what I deem as being healthy in this life. And should you want to take shots at me, take shots at me. Have a go. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all good. Like I'm okay taking punches for my beliefs. I'm not gonna waver just because a few people take shots at me. Do you sort of get it? Do you sort of see how this allows us to sort of conjure more willingness, more drive, determination to endure and succeed in whatever we do when I'm willing to stand and die for the words that I say, and that they're not just fucking pretty words. Like they hold power to me. It doesn't matter. Like you can say I'm full of shit, and all you're ever going to do is eat your own words because I don't talk shit. Do you sort of get it? Like that's the thing. It doesn't matter if what I say is technically wrong by the experts. I'll fucking make those experts eat their words. Do you sort of get it? Just through sheer effort and action. Do you get it? Like, it doesn't matter if what I say right now is deemed as wrong, I will make it right. Do you sort of get it? This is willingness and trust. We don't get to this place without willingness and trust. The willingness to believe that when I say I will make people eat their words, should they try and say talk shit about me or say that I'm full of shit, like it just is willingness that like I put in the effort to know. I put in the effort, like I don't lie. I put in the effort to eat my own words if they don't work. Do you know what I mean? Like I trust in myself and my knowing within me. Do you sort of get it? Like that's all it is. I don't need to know what I say to be true because within me I know it to be true. Do you sort of get it? Like you don't believe or listen to anyone else. You listen to people and then you make your own decisions. Do you sort of get it? Just because someone says they're an expert doesn't mean they're full of shit or doesn't mean they're not full of shit. Do you know what I mean? Many posers live out there. They're everywhere. So we realize that my opinion or my interpretation of information that I hear is worth more than what other people say. Do you sort of get it? But my interpretation is an ever evolving thing. So it's nothing that is ever set in stone. For should I find out new information, like I'm allowed to adapt and evolve to sort of upgrade my understanding or knowledge. Like I'm not stuck in this place that should I say, for example, that I like a plant-based diet, that that's all I'm allowed to have. Like if I decide in 10 years that I want to eat fucking cheese and all the cheese that I can eat, like I'm free to change. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really matter. Like when we try to make life stagnant, life ceases to be fluid, or we cease to be fluid in life. So we get stuck and ingrained in this is the way it has to be, this is how it has to be. rather than flowing with how it is and experiencing and enjoying. So that's what willingness and trust within life allows us to do, is to move through it without needing to be attached to any one aspect of it. Because as I detach from one aspect of my life, I attach to a new aspect. And it's this ever moving thing that attachment isn't the end goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't meet someone and say, I want to be your friend, and we're going to be friends for the rest of our life. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't get attached to that's how it has to be. Because then I'm sort of trying to stop the flow of life and say, I want to live in this moment. So I allow life to keep evolving. And should life evolve to a point where that attachment ceases to come with me and become something that is holding me back, I let go to it. So I am allowed and open to receive what comes next. Do you sort of get it? Very important to get this because this is the flow of moving through and towards our manifestations. That our manifestation isn't one sort of thing. It's not it's not this one idea. It's all of the different breaths, all of the different steps towards our goal. Should I become attached to this is the step? Now I'm standing still on my path, pretending like I'm going forward. So we understand in like love and romance, like it's not the person, but it's the understanding of who you want to be with that we're moving through and evolving through personal relationships until we find what we're looking for. Do you sort of get it? We're not being coming attached to the person and saying this person has to now evolve into this thing. Like every time we get data and experiences, we say, what do I like? What do I not like? The things I don't like, I'm not even going to like, they're just see you later. Like, we don't even need to focus on that. I'm focused on what I like. And we keep flowing through it and we don't become attached to the individual. Because when I become attached to the individual, I cease to live in my expression. So this isn't to say like we're non-monogamous and all of this. It's to say, should I explore this, then I explore it with everything and I become attached to it. Should this not pan out, I detach. I don't have to be attached to it because I was attached to it. I can realize this ain't the place for me and detach. Do you sort of get it? And then I'm free to flow to the next sort of movement in the journey, the next sequence. And now I'm able to flow through my life, evolving and growing because the final expression is a culmination of the experience. Do you sort of get it? So, like, we don't find love until we've realized one, what I love in life, and two, what I don't love in life. That way, should someone want to go down that route, like, I just don't want to go down that route. It's not for me. Do you sort of get it? It's not that I hold on to, oh, I don't want this to happen. It's just, should you give me the option to go there? Like, I'm good. I don't want that anymore. No, thank you. Do you sort of get it? So we're able to now flow through life without seeing any one aspect of the journey being more important or less important than the journey. Like the journey is the culmination, i.e., I don't get a specific set of friends and then say, I'm never going to make any other friends because these are going to be my friends for life. Do you sort of get it? Like, how limiting would that be? To say, I'm not never going to expand, my understandings of life through others' perspectives outside of this bubble. This bubble is my bubble for the rest of my life. I've met people like this. They're very funny, But basically, do you realize what I'm saying? So we're not saying in love that this is who I have to be with and creating a bubble and saying that life has to exist within this bubble. Life may have existed in that bubble at one point, but it doesn't exist there now. Life's ever evolving, ever moving. So we're either up with the flow of life or we're stagnant within our life outside of the flow. Do you sort of get it? We're trying to control and say, this is what I want in life. Nothing changes. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying, all I ever want to do is go out on the weekends and party and all of that. And then you're 45 and you're the only 45-year-old dude out on the weekend party. And do you sort of get it? Like, who wants to be that? You can enjoy partying, but it's sort of like if we get too stagnant in what life was, in the dream years, whatever, the best years of my life. Like now I'm over focused on that aspect of my life or that time in my life, trying to make all of my life static in that moment, in that experience. And that's sort of like, to me, seems like the most depressing way to live because there ceases to be potential or opportunity for new. And now there is only what has been. Do you sort of get it? That's the whole point of willingness and trust, is so that I'm free to flow with life and I can let go to the need to ruminate or stagnate on what was. Do you sort of get it? That's what allows me to live and be free, to move towards whatever I want. Because should I wake up today and realize I don't want that anymore, I am free to move forward. I'm free to realign what I want as being something new. So should I wake up today and say I want to be a surfer? I'm free to be a surfer and go buy a surfboard. Do you know what I mean? Should I wake up in a month and say I don't really like surfing anymore? I'm free to not like surfing. Like I'm not attached to any one aspect of life. It's the flow of life. That way I'm not out in negative degrees in a fucking thick wetsuit trying to surf because I'm missing summer. You know what I mean? I'm able to go out on the slopes and snowboard. I'm able to experience different aspects of it. Very important to get this because this sort of allows us to now stop self-limiting ourselves to the bubble of protection that is all we've experienced, and now to freely experience all that is to offer. Do you sort of get it? Without the need. Should I enjoy something? I do more of it. Should I not enjoy something? I do less of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do more of what I don't enjoy. All right. Well, I hope you guys understand and get this one. Because yeah, when we understand this, we unlock our ability to now be in flow with life and stop resisting our life. All right. I hope you guys have a great day and I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much. Bye.